songs because it's easy to get those verses into my head, and I can often think of them on my own. Today, I wanted to have us do a verse out of Revelation. And this is probably the first thing that's going to come out of our mouth once we get to heaven, besides wow, or I can't believe it, or this is great. But the official first words are in the book of Revelation, chapter 4, and it says this in verse 11, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created." That's Revelation 4:11. Thou art worthy, thou art worthy, thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory, glory and honor, glory and honor and power. For thou hast created, all things hast created, thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are created. Thou art worthy, O Lord. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Oh my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world.
The Little Hero of Holland. Here is the true story of Braveheart, one willing to hold on as long as it takes to get the job done. Holland is a country where much of the land lies below sea level. Only great walls called dikes keep the North Sea from rushing in and flooding the land. For centuries, the people of Holland have worked to keep the walls strong so that their country will be safe and dry. Even the little children know the dikes must be watched every moment, and that a hole no larger than your finger can be a very dangerous thing. Many years ago, there lived in Holland a boy named Peter. Peter's father was one of the men who tended the gates in the dikes called sluices. He opened and closed the sluices so that the ships could pass out of Holland's canals into the Great Sea. One afternoon in the early fall, when Peter was 8 years old, his mother called him from his play. "Come, Peter," she said, "I want you to go across the dike and take these cakes to your friend, the blind man. If you go quickly and do not stop to play, you'll be home again before dark." The little boy was glad to go on such an errand and started off with a light heart. He stayed with the poor blind man a little while to tell him about his walk along the dike and about the sun and the flowers and the ships far out at sea. Then he remembered his mother's wish that he should return before dark, and bidding his friend goodbye, he set out for home. As he walked beside the canal, he noticed how the rains had swollen the waters and how they beat against the side of the dike, and he thought of his father's gates. "I'm glad they're so strong," he said to himself. "If they gave way, what would become of us? These pretty fields would be covered with water. Father always calls them the angry waters. I suppose he thinks they are angry at him for keeping them out so long." As he walked along, he sometimes stopped to pick the pretty blue flowers that grew beside the road, or to listen to the rabbits' soft tread as they rustled through the grass. But oftener, he smiled as he thought of his visit to the poor blind man who had so few pleasures and was always so glad to see him. Suddenly, he noticed that the sun was setting and that it was growing dark. "Mother will be watching for me," he thought, and he began to run toward home. Just then, he heard a noise. It was the sound of trickling water. He stopped and looked down. There was a small hole in the dike through which a tiny stream was flowing. Now, any child in Holland is frightened at the thought of a leak in the dike. Peter understood the danger at once. If the water ran through a little hole, it would soon make a larger one, and the whole country would be flooded. In a moment, he saw what he must do. Throwing away his flowers, he climbed down the side of the dike and thrust his finger into the tiny hole. The flowing of the water was stopped. "Oh-ho," he said to himself, "the angry waters must stay back. I can keep them back with my finger. Holland shall not be drowned while I am here." This was all very well at first, but soon it grew dark and cold. The little fellow shouted and screamed. "Here, come here," he called, but no one heard him. No one came to help him. It grew still colder, and his arm ached and began to grow so stiff and numb. He shouted again, "Will no one come? Mother! Mother!" But his mother had looked anxiously along the dike roads many times since sunset for her little boy, and now she had closed and locked the cottage door, thinking that Peter was spending the night with his blind friend, and that she would scold him in the morning for staying away from home without permission. Peter tried to whistle, but his teeth chattered with the cold. He thought of his brother and sister in their warm beds, and of his dear father and mother. "I must not let them be drowned," he thought. "I must stay here until someone comes, if I have to stay all night." The moon and stars looked down on the child crouching on a stone on the side of the dike. His head was bent and his eyes were closed, but he was not asleep, for every now and then he rubbed the hand that was holding back the angry sea. "I'll stand it somehow," he thought. So he stayed there all night, keeping the sea out. Early the next morning, a man going to work thought he heard a groan as he walked along the top of the dike. Looking over the edge, he saw a child clinging to the side of the great wall. "What's the matter?" he called. "Are you hurt?" "I'm keeping the water back," yet Peter yelled. "Tell them to come quickly." The alarm was spread. People became running with shovels, and the hole was soon mended. They carried Peter home to his parents, and before long the whole town knew how he had saved their lives that night. To this day, they have never forgotten the brave little hero of Holland. This story reminds me of the verse in 2 Timothy 3:14. It says, "But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them." Peter had learned from an early age how important it was to keep the water back, how important it was that those dikes were strong for the safety of him and his family and his friends. And just like Peter held that water back and never gave up, we have to keep wrong out of our lives. We've been taught from our parents, teachers, our preacher, of things that are wrong, that should not enter our lives, that will hurt us. And as we go through life, we have got to make sure that we keep those things out. We're to do right even when it's hard. And even if we feel like we're alone, if we feel like none of our friends are doing right and they're not doing what they've been taught, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how hard it is, how uncomfortable. We have to do right and keep the wrong out for the safety of our life and for the safety of the lives of our family and friends.
Hello, boys and girls. Do you remember what hola means? Right, hola means hello. Something to remember. The H is silent in Spanish. So we say hola. Say hola. Do you remember what adios means? That's right, it means goodbye. Say adios. Good. I'm glad you're practicing. The verse you see on the screen is Romans 3:10. It is another verse we use when presenting the gospel in Spanish. Como está escrito, no hay justo ni aun uno. Romanos 3:10. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. Romans 3:10. The first word is como. It means as or how. Está is the second word. It means it is. The third word is escrito, which means written. It's a past tense word. No is just like in English. It means no. I, remember the H? We don't pronounce that. So the word is I, and it means there is or there are. In this case, it means there are. Justo means righteous. Ni means neither. Aún means yet. Uno means one. So ni aún uno means neither yet one, or as we say in English, no, not one. Romanos is Romans. That's the book of Romans. The 3 is pronounced tres. The 10 is pronounced diez. So let's say the verse. Como está escrito. No hay justo ni aún uno. Romanos 3:10. Let's do it again. Como está escrito. No hay justo ni aún uno. Look at the word justo. Remember, that meant righteous. The J in Spanish is pronounced like the letter H in English. Justo. Say that. Justo. Let's say the verse again. Como está escrito. No hay justo ni aún uno. Romanos 3:10. One more time. Como está escrito. No hay justo ni aún uno. Romanos 3:10. Como está escrito, no hay justo ni aún uno. Romanos 3:10. Como está escrito, no hay justo ni aún uno. Romanos 3:10. Como está escrito, no hay justo ni aún uno. Romanos 3:10. Muy bueno. Muy bueno means very good. Adiós.
All right, it's Sunday, and this is our mama hen that's been sitting on eggs for 3 weeks now. And today's day number 21. As you can see, little tiny chick under her. We've had 2 hatch, and they're staying warm under her. We don't know how many actually have hatched, but there it is right there. Little tiny baby chick. We'll take some more video when they get out, so you guys can see our chicks and see how many. I think there were 7 eggs to start out with. Not all of them, probably not all of them will hatch, but we'll see how many do. We'll get some cute little chicks in here running around. And the kids have already named 2 of them. What, Rosie and what else?
Fluffy.
And Fluffy.
That's Fluffy.
And so we'll see them as they get out and move around. Whoa, there they are, little chicks. And there's the eggs that they came out of. Keep losing my focus here. I want that mama hen to move so we can all see it. This hen up here is making a fuss because she just laid an egg. Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. We hear you. Look, there's two of them in there laying eggs together. Hey, chickies, and that one's saying, hurry up, you two, get out of here, it's my turn. Yep, look at there, got one fresh egg, we'll leave it in there and get some more.
All right, hey, welcome everybody back to another episode of our top 5 favorites. I'm here with my oldest son, Jackson, and we're gonna do our top 5 favorites. This time we're gonna do our top 5 favorite fast food. You ready for this, Jack?
For sure.
Okay, all right, now first, here's some ground rules for everybody at home, because I want you going along, thinking about what your top 5 are, but biggest rule of any of this is that this fast food has to be a drive-through. It has to have a drive-through in it. So it's got to be coronavirus approved, that you can drive through and get whatever you want from there. So things like Chipotle, sorry, that doesn't count for this fast food list. Or is there anything that would have made your list, Jackson?
Subway.
Only
it had a drive-through.
Okay. So Subway can't go on this list because there's no drive-through in it, because we got to make it just specifically it has a drive-through. So fast food that has a drive-through, those are our top 5s. Now before we get to our top 5s, Jackson, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yes, I had Habit was my honorable mention, but not quite there. Would have been like a 6 right there.
Okay, all right, Habit. What do you like at Habit?
I like the char burgers.
All right, char burgers at Habit. All right, good. I know Pastor likes the chocolate milkshake from there. And my honorable mention, one of my honorable mentions would have been, you don't really think of it as fast food, but it's Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen with their drive-through. Sure, they've got some food that really isn't that good, but a Blizzard, man, just give me that Blizzard. That's a great thing to go drive through and get that. So that would be my honorable mention. But to our top 5. All right, let's start with our top 5. Jackson, what's your number 5?
Number 5 is McDonald's. So McDonald's is one that some foods are really good, like the fries. They salt it perfectly, and also their chicken nuggets. Always have to get the chicken nuggets. And there's certain things are not that good, but the fries, super spot on.
Fries are great, but nobody ever goes to McDonald's and be like, ooh, I want a McDonald's burger.
Yes.
Ugh. All right, but the fries, those are good. Okay, so I can't say good things about the fries. My number 5 is Habit Burger. All right, Habit Burger, getting that char burger. There's a lot of different things. I even like the teriyaki char that they have there, but the char burgers are great. The fries are good. So Habit Burger has got to be on there. Any place that you can go and get a drive-through and get a good hamburger that doesn't taste like it was from just one of these run-of-the-mill fast food places, that's got to be on the list. So Habit Burger is my number 5. What's your number 4, Jackson?
Number 4 is Taco Bell. So there's some things like the burger, or like not the burger, the burritos, things you could get other places, But some things are like the seasonal things. So they have the nacho fries. Those are really good to me. Even though some people say they're not good, they're good to me. And then they have the triple layer nachos, and certain things are good.
All right, Taco Bell. Taco Bell is good for me too, but man, that's like fat people food right there. So it's one of those things you don't want everybody to know. I love Taco Bell. But here's my number 4. My number 4 is Popeyes. Okay, love that chicken from Popeyes. All right, Popeyes, man. My boys know that I like Popeyes. The chicken strips and the red beans and rice and their biscuits and all kinds of stuff. You know, there's several different chicken places that you could go to, but if I had to choose between any KFC, Popeyes, any other chicken places like that, I'm gonna choose Popeyes. Even their chicken sandwich is good too, but I just like their just regular chicken. So Popeyes is my number 4. What's your number 3, Jackson?
Number 3 is KFC, and I think this is way better than Popeyes because there's so many good things about it, the chicken and everything. And they have the $5 meals, $5, which is really cheap and has all the stuff in there to fill you up.
All right, okay, KFC. I'm not mad at KFC, but Popeyes is definitely better. Here's my number 3. Okay, my number 3 is Del Taco. Del Taco, above something like Taco Bell. So Del Taco I like because they do have a bunch of different things, but you know, it's just fresher from Del Taco. So they actually grate their own cheese there. They make their own beans. Everything just seems fresher at Del Taco than Taco Bell. You go to Taco Bell if you want to get a stomach ache after you eat. You go to Del Taco if you want to have some good food there. Okay, so don't listen to Miss Jen. Del Taco is better than Taco Bell. All right. Now, what's the number 2, Jackson?
Number 2 is In-N-Out. So these are the number 1 best burgers. Better than Habit, better than Five Guys, or whatever you want to say. They're the best. The only thing that is not that good is the fries, because they're not spot on like McDonald's, but their burgers spot on.
All right, man. What can I say? This must be. He is definitely his father's son, because my number 2 is In-N-Out. In-N-Out, and just really pretty much for the same thing that Jackson's saying, a double with grilled onions. Man, you cannot beat that. And especially, for the price. Some people always like to try to compare In-N-Out to Five Guys or something like that. And if you go and get the same burger at Five Guys, it's going to cost you double the price of what it costs at In-N-Out for a double with grilled onions for under $4. I mean, you can't beat that. Yes, the fries, not my favorite. Okay, those definitely are on the list of fries. Best fast food fries are down here. But man, you can't beat the burger from In-N-Out. So that's my number 2. All right, Jackson, what is your number 1?
Number 1 is Chick-fil-A. They have the best chicken sandwiches, and what I always get is a spicy deluxe sandwich. Even though it's a little bit pricey at Chick-fil-A, it's still always a treat to go there. It has the spicy chicken with the pepper jack cheese and some pickles on it, and you put the Chick-fil-A sauce on it. It's perfect. Always is good.
Okay. Now again, Jackson, you really know what you're talking about with your fast food, because look at my number 1. It's Chick-fil-A as well. So same thing again, Chick-fil-A. The chicken, it's always fresh and good. You never have to wonder when you go to Chick-fil-A, hey, am I going to get a good quality meal? It doesn't matter what you get out of it. It's all good. The fries, the waffle fries, those are good. All of the sauces, Chick-fil-A sauce, it was actually just an accident. I think it was honey mustard and barbecue that accidentally got mixed, and then boom, now we have the best dipping sauce that there is around, Chick-fil-A sauce. I know my wife likes their frosted lemonades when they have all their seasonal shakes. Those are all good. I mean, you just really can't beat Chick-fil-A. And on top of that, they're a Christian company. How great is that? I mean, you can't go there on Sunday. On Sunday, I wanted to eat at Chick-fil-A. Can't go there, okay? Because they're closed to honor the Lord's Day. What a great thing. So these are our top 5s. Hey, kids at home, adults as well. Adults, we want to see what your top 5s are. What is your top 5 fast food places? Send us your top 5 to the number that's on the screen here, and then we'll pick one lucky winner that you are going to get a meal to your top fast food place. We are going to get you a gift card that you can go and buy yourself whatever you want at your favorite fast food place. So make sure you turn those in to the number that's on the screen, and I hope everybody has a great day. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.